What's up YouTube, Silver Dragons here, and in this video I'm going to talk about stacking silver and when to know that you have stacked enough. So let's do it! Thank you so much for watching my video. I sincerely appreciate it. If you want to learn more about investing in precious metals, or if you just want to watch awesome videos about gold and silver, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Alright, so I'm talking about stacking silver and when to know that you've actually stacked enough. This is kind of hard to figure out, especially if you're just getting started. You're like, okay, well, clearly I know I haven't stacked enough, but at some point, maybe I'll feel like I'm done, right? And so there's a lot of different factors that go into how to figuring out that you actually have enough silver. Probably the biggest thing you need to figure out is what are your goals when it comes to silver stacking, because some people actually have an ounce goal in mind. I'll just give you an example. When I first started stacking silver, I wanted to get to 40 ounces. Now, this was my short-term goal. Obviously, I've well surpassed that, but yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to do. And I got to that rather quickly, and then I said, okay, I want to get to 100 ounces, and these were short-term goals, and then I said I want to get to 1,000 ounces, and now I'm kind of at this place where I'm like, all right, do I want to keep on stacking silver heavily? Do I want to diversify more into gold, platinum? What do I want to do? Because my silver stack is getting pretty heavy. I don't actually know how many ounces I have, but I know it's well over 1,000, so I'll probably have to do another full stack video at some point, which brings me to this stuff that I have laying out here on the table. These are some fun things that I've recently picked up probably over the last week or so. These are either purchases or trades or gifts to the channel, so I wanted to show them off in this video as we talk about when to know that you have stacked enough silver. So I know that one thing that's catching a lot of people's eye is this piece right here, so we'll just show it off first. It's the Fafnir Dragon from Germanium Mint. This is the 2-ounce version, absolutely gorgeous. They sent me this before they actually came out. They're not even on pre-order yet, but I love it. I think it's gorgeous. It will go in my collection of dragon-themed silver, so definitely one of my favorite pieces that I've ever got. Check out Germanium Mint and stay tuned for when these actually get released. I really want to get the other 2-ounce one that's sort of gold looking, so that'll be very cool. But anyway, I love picking up sort of fun pieces of silver. I've got several different collections that I'm working on. And the thing is, when it comes to collecting silver, you can do this forever, obviously. More things will come out that you're interested in. I know the Queen's Beast series is just now getting finished. A lot of people were collecting the Queen's Beast silver coins and gold coins and whatnot, and so now that that's over, I'm sure there'll be some other series coming out. Perth Mint comes out with series like every single year, and so if you want to just collect silver, buy silver for fun, buy things that you like, you can obviously do that forever. But stacking silver is a whole different ball game, and sort of those two kind of get intertwined because a lot of people that stack silver also collect silver, right? I do both. I stack silver for a savings, a preservation of my wealth, but I also like to buy fun collectible silver just because I enjoy it. So here's a piece that I recently picked up from an auction. It was the Tomoko's Enterprise benefit auction, which went very well. So yeah, loving that piece there. So I think that when I first started stacking silver, I didn't have any long-term goals in mind because I didn't know if I would like it, right? When you're trying something new, you kind of got to dip your toe in before you jump all the way in. Some people, when it comes to silver, they already have probably a large cash savings account and they're like, okay, this is something I want to get into. Let's just dive in, and they buy 1,000 ounces, 10,000 ounces. I don't know. There's some heavy hitters out there. So, you know, if that's you, then that's great. But that was definitely not me. I didn't have any cash savings when I first started stacking silver. I had literally nothing in savings. I was living paycheck to paycheck, and so I was really scrounging for money. And one of the first silver rounds I ever bought was this one here, one of my favorites, the Honest Value Never Fails silver round. Absolutely gorgeous, and I've been collecting these ever since. So I actually just recently added 2 more to the collection, which we'll show off. So I think that for me personally, when I first started stacking, because I was just sort of testing it out and obviously starting the YouTube channel and whatnot, I never really had an end goal in mind. Now, some people, their end goal is 1,000 ounces. They feel like that's a lot, and it definitely is. Now, 1,000 ounces is very heavy. I've lifted 500 ounces before at once. That's a whole monster box of American Silver Eagles. And yeah, it puts a little strain on the back. So I can imagine that if I were to stack 6,000, 10,000 ounces of silver, I would have a very hard time moving it. Well, this is okay if you're just putting it in your safe because, hey, it actually does weigh down your safe pretty well. And your safe's probably already bolted to the ground and whatnot, but it'll just make it a little bit heavier and harder to steal. But one thing that I was actually thinking about recently, because I live in Oregon, is the wildfires that are going on right now. So this isn't something I've really ever considered before, but if a wildfire were to get pretty near to my house and we'd have to actually pack everything and leave, then I would be at a point where I actually need to pack up my silver. Obviously, my gold, platinum, that's easy. I can throw that in a pocket. But for the silver, we're talking somewhere around 100 pounds of silver. So yeah, it would definitely be hard to move. It's not something I could just grab and go. I'd actually have to take a few minutes, collect everything, make sure it's not all in the same spot. So make sure that I don't forget anything, don't leave anything behind. And, if the house does burn down, well, silver will melt at around 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't know if all the silver would even melt. I mean, I know sometimes these house fires can get really hot. So it's definitely possible the silver could melt and it would still be there. You could probably still salvage some of it, take it to a refiner or something like that, and you haven't actually lost all of your value. Unlike with paper fiat currency, right? If you had a bunch of $100 bills that were in a fire, well, yeah, those are toast. Your silver, you could actually recover some of that wealth because it's an element. That's one of the great things about stacking silver. So realizing that I might not be able to actually move all of my silver in an SHTF situation, I need to sort of factor that in. So do I want to keep on stacking silver? I mean, I've looked at some of these other YouTubers that have these incredible silver stacks. I mean, we're talking like 10,000 plus ounces of silver. There's no way they could ever move all that if they needed to sort of pack up and run. And so I think that, if you want to have a massive silver stack like that, that's cool. It's definitely flashy, looks great on YouTube. I'm not putting anyone down. I know my silver stack is, it is what it is. It's not massive. I would say it's probably modest, but it's larger than some other stacks out there. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with just trying to stack it until you can fill up your entire basement with silver or whatever. But I think that for me personally, that's probably not the route I want to go. So one thing you can think about is stacking more dense, or a dense stacking strategy. Real quick, this is a 1/2 ounce honest value never fails round. I've actually never seen one of these before, which is why I had to pick it up when I saw it. So that's cool. I guess I have 17.5 ounces now of the honest value never fails stuff. So anyway, so when it comes to stacking on the dense side, you have a few options. You could obviously switch over to gold. Now, gold is way more dense than silver. If you're looking at just the elements side by side, gold is about half the size of silver, but at the same weight. So a 1 ounce gold coin will be about half the size of a 1 ounce silver coin. But also look at storage of value, right? Because gold is valued at about 70 to 80 times what silver is. And so when you look at that, it's like, okay, well, I could have 80 silver coins or 1 gold coin, and they both hold the same amount of value. So definitely gold is a way to go if you're worried about weight. That's something I'm definitely considering, especially just everything that's going on right now. So, I might change my mind and say, okay, you know what? I just want to keep going with silver because I do love silver, and I'm going to keep collecting silver, obviously. But when it comes to stacking silver, like buying American Silver Eagles, buying generic silver rounds, buying junk silver, I feel like at some point enough definitely is enough. So I think that the best thing you can do is actually take a step back, look at how much silver you've acquired, or if you're just starting to stack silver, look at what you want to acquire in the future and sort of make a game plan moving forward. I think that generally speaking, if you have more silver in pounds than you actually weigh, then maybe you actually have too much silver. Now, I know some people, they got big safes. They want to throw like 10 monster boxes of American Silver Eagles in there, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want 5,000 ounces of Eagles, then stack 5,000 ounces of Eagles. I don't care. And then if the price goes up considerably, you could either sell them or you could hold on to them or do whatever you want. But just know that if you needed to get those out of there quickly, you might have a little trouble with that. And so this brings up vaulting and other things like that. You know, some people are really into the vaulting. They like to buy precious metals and actually not take delivery because maybe they're worried about storing them at home, or maybe they're worried about having to pick them up and run, right? Or guarding them or whatever. And, you know, when in regard to vaulting, I don't think that's a great idea in general, because I think that if you're going to be buying physical silver, you should have access to it. So for me personally, I would much rather keep it at home, obviously safely secured and well protected and all of that stuff. But I just think that in general, that's a better way to go. So the last thing I want to say in regard to when do you actually know that you've stacked enough silver is your opinion might be drastically different than mine. Obviously, my opinion is once you've stacked more silver than you can physically carry, you might want to start looking at gold or platinum or something else. But, you know, I honestly feel like I still could probably keep on stacking some more silver. I got a lot more room in my safe, so maybe I'll go for 2,000 ounces. I think that would be a pretty good goal, and then I'll sort of reevaluate when I get there. But hey, your opinion might be go for 10,000 ounces, and why stop there? Try for 20,000. And if that's what you want to do, then hey, more power to you. Go for it. I wish you the best of luck. So if you're wondering about selling your silver and when would actually be the right time to start selling your silver, I did just make a video all about that. Feel free to check it out. I'll put a link up in the corner as well as a link down below in the description. There's a lot of really good points that I bring up in that video, trying to pinpoint when is the perfect time for you to actually be selling your silver. And for some people, it's never. And if that's you, then that's great. I think that's awesome. But some people actually want to get out of silver at some point, so definitely check out that video if it's something you would be interested in. And then in regard to when should you stop stacking silver, well, hey, some of us are never going to stop stacking silver, period. Some of us will just keep on buying silver for the rest of our lives. And even if your safe is overflowing, you have to buy another safe. You know, you have a whole room or a whole basement or hidden room or whatever dedicated to silver. You know, I think that's great. For some people, it's more than just a hobby. You know, it's more than just a savings account. It's really a lifestyle. And I think that's really awesome. And a lot of people in this community do embrace that. So I think that's very cool. So anyway, what are your thoughts on stacking silver and when should you actually stop? At what point do you have enough silver? Is it an ounce amount for you, or is it just when you can't carry it all and you feel like you should start moving into gold? So anyway, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on it. And I want to say a massive thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.